Angel Reese, Kate Martin, two names that have become synonymous with the evolving landscape of women's basketball. Reese, the brash and confident star, known for her on-court swagger and trash talk. Martin, the embodiment of fundamentals and skill, letting her game speak for itself. Their paths collided in a regular-season Unrivaled League game that ignited a firestorm of debate. Reese, playing for Rose BC, entered the game with her signature swagger. Her trash talk echoed through the arena, a constant reminder of her dominance. Martin, a quiet force for Laces BC, countered with her unwavering focus and precise execution. The tension was palpable from the opening tip-off. The game itself was a back-and-forth affair, each possession a battle. Reese, a force in the paint, powered her way to the basket, drawing fouls and finishing through contact. Martin, a skilled shooter, punished Rose BC from the perimeter, her effortless release a thing of beauty. As the game wore on, the intensity escalated. The crowd, sensing the rising stakes, roared with each basket. The stage was set for a dramatic climax, a clash of styles that would reverberate far beyond the final buzzer. The defining moment of the game, the one that sparked 1,000 tweets and endless debate, occurred midway through the second half. Reese, driving to the basket with her characteristic aggression, found herself face-to-face with Martin. The crowd rose to their feet, anticipating the collision. Martin stood her ground, her feet planted firmly, her eyes locked on the ball. As Reese elevated for the layup, Martin rose with her, her arm extended straight up. The sound of contact echoed through the arena, followed by the thud of Reese hitting the floor. A collective gasp swept through the crowd. Some fans cried foul, outraged by the physicality of the play. Others applauded Martin's defensive stand, her refusal to back down. The referees, after a brief consultation, whistled a foul on Martin, sending Reese to the free throw line. Social media erupted. Replays of the play were analyzed and dissected, opinions fiercely divided. Was it a hard foul? Part of the game, or was it a dirty play, a deliberate attempt to injure Reese? The debate raged on, fueling the already intense rivalry between the two players. The foul, whether intentional or not, seemed to rattle Reese. Her previously unstoppable drives to the basket became tentative, her shots lacking their usual confidence. She missed both free throws, a stark contrast to her aggressive play earlier in the game. Martin, on the other hand, seemed energized by the play. She continued to play with unwavering focus, hitting crucial shots and anchoring Laces BC's defense. The momentum had shifted, and Rose BC seemed powerless to stop it. The final buzzer sounded with Laces BC victorious, 71-64. Martin, though not the leading scorer, had made her presence felt, her defense proving just as valuable as any offensive outburst. Reese, despite a respectable stat line, left the court with a sense of frustration, her dominance challenged for the first time in the young season. The aftermath of the game was dominated by talk of the collision and its impact on Reese. While some praised Martin's defensive stand, others accused Reese of embellishing the contact, of flopping to draw the foul. Commentators pointed to other instances in the game where Reese appeared to exaggerate contact, falling to the floor with theatrical flair after minimal contact. The accusations of flopping, whether justified or not, threatened to tarnish Reese's image, casting a shadow over her undeniable talent. The flopping debate tapped into a larger conversation about sportsmanship and the role of theatrics in basketball. Some argued that flopping was a blight on the game, a form of cheating that undermined its integrity. Others saw it as a strategic tool, a way to gain an advantage in a fast-paced and physical sport. The Reese-Martin drama unfolded against the backdrop of the Unrivaled League's ongoing struggles. The league, formed with the goal of providing a platform for professional female athletes, had yet to gain the widespread viewership and financial stability it desperately needed. Average viewership numbers hovered around 312,000, a far cry from the millions who tuned in to watch men's professional basketball. Sponsorships were scarce, and the league struggled to attract the same level of investment as its male counterpart. The reasons for the league's struggles were complex and multifaceted. Some pointed to the lack of a consistent television deal, making it difficult for fans to follow their favorite players and teams. Others cited the lingering effects of gender bias in sports, with women's basketball still struggling for recognition and respect. The Unrivaled League, despite its noble intentions, found itself at a crossroads. It needed a spark, a catalyst to capture the attention of fans and investors alike. It needed a game-changer. Enter Caitlyn Clark. The Iowa superstar, fresh off a record-breaking college career, had become the face of women's basketball. Her electrifying play and infectious personality captivating fans around the world. The Unrivaled League, recognizing Clark's star power, made her a priority target. They offered her a $1 million contract, a staggering sum for a rookie, hoping to lure her to the league and boost their flagging fortunes. Clark's decision carried immense weight. If she chose to join the Unrivaled League, it would be a major coup, signaling her belief in its potential and attracting legions of fans eager to watch her play. If she chose to sign elsewhere, it would be a significant blow, raising questions about the league's long-term viability. The basketball world held its breath, waiting for Clark's decision. The future of the Unrivaled League, and perhaps the future of women's professional basketball, seemed to hinge on her next move. The drama surrounding Reese Martin and the Unrivaled League highlighted a larger shift occurring within women's basketball. The old guard, built on trash talk and drama, was giving way to a new generation of players who prioritized skill and sportsmanship. Fans, tired of the manufactured storylines and forced rivalries, were gravitating towards players like Martin, players who let their game do the talking. They appreciated the pure athleticism, the dazzling displays of skill, the genuine camaraderie on display. The shift was evident in the way the media covered the sport. Headlines that once focused on off-court antics and personal feuds were now dedicated to game recaps, player profiles, and in-depth analyses of the game itself. This was not to say that personality and flair were no longer valued. Players like Clark, with her infectious smile and dazzling array of skills, proved that it was possible to be both entertaining and respectful, to play with joy and passion without resorting to cheap theatrics. In the midst of the drama and debate, players like Kate Martin emerged as symbols of the changing face of women's basketball. Martin, with her quiet intensity and unwavering focus on the fundamentals, represented a refreshing alternative to the manufactured drama that had come to define the sport. She didn't need to trash talk or embellish contact to make an impact. Her game spoke for itself. Her dedication to her craft, her tireless work ethic, and her unwavering sportsmanship were evident in every possession. Martin's rise to prominence signaled a shift in fan priorities. Fans were no longer solely entertained by theatrics and controversy. They craved genuine competition, skillful play, and athletes who embodied the true spirit of the game. The rise of players like Martin boded well for the future of women's basketball. It suggested that the sport was evolving, maturing, moving beyond the tired tropes that had once held it back. As the Unrivaled League waited with bated breath for Caitlyn Clark's decision, the young superstar continued to dazzle on the court. In a birthday performance for the ages, she sank an astounding 50 out of 54 three-pointers, a feat that sent shockwaves through the basketball world. Social media exploded, with fans and commentators alike marveling at her accuracy and effortless shooting stroke. The video of her performance went viral, racking up millions of views and cementing her status as a global icon. Clark's dominance transcended the world of women's basketball. She had become a cultural phenomenon, her highlights featured on sports shows and her name mentioned in the same breath as the NBA's biggest stars. Her decision, when it finally came, would have far-reaching implications. But for now, the basketball world watched in awe, witnessing the rise of a once-in-a-generation talent who was redefining what was possible on the court.